the cove.
All right, welcome to this week's edition of Skip Scoop. Bucky, busy week.
Very busy week.
I don't know the exact math, but how many games we've had in the last few days.
I can't even count anymore.
Culminated by a weekend series with Long Beach State, a very, very good opponent, and a series sweep by the Sun Devils, and a lot of good things happened in that series. We were kind of in a rough spot after the drop in the two games midweek at home with Cal State Fullerton, but then rebounding well. I thought the guys did a really, really good job of finding ourselves internally and then really applying it to the field.
Yeah, and that Friday game and the way we won that game, that was well needed and well timed.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those two, and I know people say this, that, well, sure, coach, it's easy to say after you win, but I mean, just the vibe of the dugout prior to the big comeback in the ninth inning and then ultimately a 10th inning win was really, really good. And I'm thinking hopefully we look back on this at the end of the season or next year, whatever we're talking about, that was the springboard or the catalyst for what hopes to be a very good season. But Andrew Shaps,
oh my goodness.
Well, people forget about Gage Canning with the at-bat before. We're down to the last out. We're down 2, and Canning finding a way to get on base to allow Andrew to be the hero with the big blast.
That was incredible.
Did you ever hit a ball like that?
No, I know for a fact I've never hit a ball like that.
And I would know for a fact too, you probably never hit a ball like that. But as in this business, you cannot rest on your laurels. It's on to the next one. The next one, good series coming up. We've got number 2 Oregon State, Pat Casey, who I really, really respect and how he does. We kick off Pac-12 play this weekend, and looking forward to getting back on the field and keep this momentum moving forward.
I'm Hunter, and I'm going to take you on a campus tour. So I'm going to take you guys to the theater right now where Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is playing.
Where's the real show take place?
Oh, the real show? Oh, the real show's at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. This is the MU. Where people eat, people like to chat. But I love this place. Downstairs, there's a bowling alley. No one takes me bowling. A lot of my speed comes from my reading skills. As you can see here, the interdisciplinary science research studies. So this is where people store their bikes. Yeah, this is our newest building on campus. I think it was built in like 2005. I really like what they do here. I've never been inside, but yeah. They say ASU is #1 in innovation, so they're very resourceful with what they do with their water. And since it is kind of hot here in Arizona, I'm going to take a dip. Alright, we're here with
Haley.
I'm going to ask Haley a few questions about ASU baseball. So, have you ever been at an ASU baseball game?
Yes, I have.
She has. Do you know who Barry Bonds is?
Yes.
Yes. Do you know who Dustin Pedroia is?
Yes.
But do you know who Hunter Bishop is?
No.
Hunter Bishop.
Hello.
This is where everybody takes a nap. So that concludes our campus tour for today. Check Skip Scoop for next week's freshman dorm edition.
Question.
All right. Do you plan on getting a real pitchfork for the dugout anytime soon?
You know what? That's a great question. Pitchfork's been kind of a little team. Guys like the little fork thing. And I'm exactly, in your camp. The giant Paul Bunyan fork, dinner fork, probably doesn't really represent properly. But the answer to the question is yes. I'll tell you who stepped up and came through for us. Do you even know this yet?
No, I don't.
Greg Powers.
Did he really?
Our hockey coach. He saw me send out that tweet. And Greg came through. They actually have someone made them a solid steel pitchfork that he said we can borrow for the remainder of the season.
Do it, Greg Powers.
Greg Powers coming through for us.
All right, next question. Are any new uniforms coming out this year?
Very good question. Are we allowed to talk?
Yeah, Adidas has released that.
So, yes, in fact, and it's going to be coming up here soon. We're trying. We're still waiting on the date, but we're going to release our Barry Bonds throwback uniform, which
They're cool. They're really cool.
is really cool. And actually, you can probably take a look at it. This is where the editing comes in. You can take a look at it right here. We're still trying to work out some details to get the one and only Barry Bonds to come back for the unveiling of that uniform. But regardless of whether he comes back or not, we're going to have a new uniform.
Okay, perfect. How far will the fences be moved in this off season?
Good question. Well, we studied that intensively. We charted basically every fly ball and fall practices, fall batting practice, and then we drew what we thought would be a proper representation of the home run fence with a white line on the fence, then played our fall inner squads. Detailed process. We don't come by decisions lightly around here. And then we played at that point. We realistically think we could probably bring it in about 15 to 17 feet,
Right.
all the way around. Now, the daytime, nighttime stuff impacts that. We may look at our future scheduling times to dictate, but we're looking at roughly about a 15 to 17 foot distance change all the way around. Thanks for tuning into this week's edition of Skip Scoop, and we'll see you after the Oregon State weekend. And so we'll see you next week.